Don't sleep on me here. So how to build influence your personal brand. I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself. My day job, I am the Director of Diversity and Inclusion at Youngstown Business Incubator. I've been there since September of last year. I feel like I've been there for all my life. But that has been an awesome and amazing journey where I get a chance to work with women-owned businesses as well as minority-owned businesses and directing and helping them to navigate the terrain of starting a business, growing a business, and changing different things. So where I got from my day job is about me. I am an entrepreneur by heart. I grew up in an entrepreneurial family, so everybody had a day job and a side hustle. It was normal to work a 12-hour day, so me working 12 and 14 hours is nothing. It's been like that all of my life. My brand is Carmelo Marie. It's a natural hair care company. I started it in July of 2013, and what happened was I made a product at home, pulled different things out of my kitchen cabinet, right? In the middle of summer, in the third floor apartment, no AC, 95 degrees, could have had a heat stroke, but I'm creative, right? So what I did is I opened my freezer and my refrigerator, put an oscillating fan in front of it, and I made my own AC. And I coined myself as a kitchen chemist, and I started off with one product, passed it out to my family members on July 4th, 2013. I said it was a hair product, and they were like, what are you talking about? You're not a chemist. What are you doing? And my auntie's like, just rub it on your knees and elbows. It's cream, right? I'm like, but it's for your hair. So I kept pressing. That same month, I did my first Let's Talk Hair session, which is on the next slide, a flyer that we now do every year. And 6 people RSVP'd, but 8 people RSVP'd, but actually 16 showed up. So I was like, okay, I'm on to something. Let's get it moving. And that is where I began to position myself as a center of influence by giving out information and supplying the needs of not just my clients, but what I refer to everybody as family. And one rule of thumb I always follow is I never meet a stranger. Okay? I might have a deer in the headlight look sometimes, but you are my best friend, right? I may have never met you, but somewhere, somehow, we have met through somebody. And that is just who I am and how I do. So I produce my own magazine every quarter when we do, this is not gonna be obedient today, is it? My own magazine, 14 products, where about 10 boutique stores sell it across the country. We have to get some locally, and this year earlier we won Best Deep Conditioner on a national level in 2 categories, natural curly hair and wavy hair and coily hair. So, and we're gonna show you how I got from 2013, passing it out to my family to now, okay? So, preparation, right? So preparation is definitely key. And how many of you all in here actually sell a product, like a product that somebody can touch, feel, eat, something like that? And how many are just services? More people are services, right? Okay, so this is gonna be relevant to you either way. Okay, so preparation. I have made a promise to lifelong learning, right? So my goal at the end of the day is I want Carmella to be on your mind. Whatever question you have, even though I deal in the area of business technical assistance and hair care, I want Carmella to be on your mind. Right? So we're going to talk about how we actually make it to that point. So finding your focus. So what does your customer need? When I started this company, I didn't know anything about Instagram. I pulled over my 16-year-old cousins and sat them on my couch, and we started just posting and doing Twitter and just kind of figuring it out, right? But once I got into the groove and started actually moving and doing things that were necessary, I was able to really drill down on what it is my customer really wanted. So even though you might be providing a service that's marketing, right? Or you're providing a tangible product, you have to sell people more than the tangible product, right? And when I say right, that's a call and response. You like, right. So I come from a Kojic church. When people, it's like a call and response going on here. So we want to have a very interactive thing, because that is the key to, that is one of the keys. So is being interactive. So I am not just Instagram in your face posting. I am your friend. I talk to you, I DM you, I hit you up, I ask you how your kids are doing, because a lot of times we cannot lose sight of personal people, right? I want to see the inside of your eyeballs. You know, I want to see the smile. So if I hit you up, if you follow me on Instagram, I might just randomly come and say, hey, Corey, what's up? How you doing, man? Right? So we can't just be straight digital, okay? We have to be personable. Touching people in ways that digital can't is extremely important. So back to this, finding your focus. What does your customer need? My customer needed something for their curly, and kiki hair, right? Or wavy hair, and hair in general. Women, men, everybody in this building has issues with their hair, right? Right. Don't be trying to be play, keep it real. Everybody has issues with their hair. Now, I don't target, and my target is people with textured hair, but in the end, it is all people, but I'm still targeting that. One, I know the issue. So I am not just providing a service, a product. I know that also underneath that issue are also personal concerns, self-doubt, and things along that line. So I might be selling you a hair care product, but then I'm saying who you are is more than enough. Because the foundation, the purpose, your full purpose of being in business is why someone is going to come back to you. It's why somebody is going to actually say, hey, follow Carmella on Instagram, or Carmella, because you want your name in somebody else's mouth, right? Nope, y'all don't want people talking about you? If it's not my name, don't say it, call me by my government name, but you want people to remember you. So finding your focus, what your service is, but then meeting a higher need. Okay, so if you go to my Instagram right now, Carmelo Marie 30, you will actually see that we post about hair care products, we post about relationships. I try to make sure that I am very interactive with the people, even if I just heart or like. Those are very important as well. And the question at the end of the day, as a digital marketer, I always ask, how can I change someone's life? Are you changing somebody's life? Is anybody changing people's lives through what you do outside of your normancy? Is there somebody that's not changing anybody's life? You don't have to raise your hand. But those are the questions that I always pose. So building a foundation, lifelong learning. I started the company where I actually did an event, okay? In that event, I was able to get those people who were not online. So it's kind of like an onboarding process, right? So we collect emails, we get data, and then I force them with a nice smile and hug to come online. So setting yourself up as doing small, intimate groups and sessions on a month-to-month basis, because that's what I did for 9 months to build my business, so that I could put myself in the center of influence, because I'm not a hairdresser. I am not a chemist. I don't have a science background. But what I do have is a willingness to learn and grow and help build people, okay? So as long as you have those types of things and you're really seeking the foundation of helping people beyond what you're trying to sell them, you will create an atmosphere that is going to be undeniable, and people will actually always refer to you for different things. So be generous, converting fans to family, right? So just because somebody follows you and they're a fan of what you're doing, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're a client, okay? And a client and family are two different things, right? So family, they never quit on you, right? They buy from you regardless. They show up regardless. They love you even if your cookie doesn't taste the best. They're going to buy, and that's the type of clientele that you want to build. So how do we go about doing that? Is I keep it super simple, right? Because a lot of times it is always about following up with email blast. It is all about DMing people. And then it's also about giving shout outs. So, and I say shout outs, that's super simple, but I try to, on a weekly basis, push up those who actually follow me, right? And show them love and show them actual interest, not just on my page, but their page. How many of you all actually go to somebody else's Instagram account and actually comment on their pictures, on their pages? How many of you actually repost? Y'all repost? Y'all do that kind of stuff? Okay. Is there anything that out of your comfort zone? Do you allow them to ask you questions? Have you also looked at the new Ask Me Question thing on Instagram? Has anybody used that? Yes, some, okay. So by allowing you all to be transparent with your followers, that helps them to become more familiar with what you're doing. Now, before I go further, because Instagram is obviously my platform, how many of you all use Instagram? Okay, how many think you're doing it well? Ooh, okay. Okay, and that's okay, because really, I'm going to give you a few tips on that. That's not in my PowerPoint, but I want to make sure I give you a few tips on how to do Instagram well. And knowing that being generous in what you do is super important. I know I'm talking about a lot of stuff that is not digital, but the digital is just like extra, right? It is extra. So how do you be generous? How can you be generous to your fans so that you can actually turn them into clientele? The first thing is I always give, because I ship a product, I always give extra. Okay? A lot of times people charge X amount of price and they just give exactly what it is they told them that they were going to give them. There's nothing extra. So as a result, there's nothing for that person to brag on you about. Does that make sense? No? It don't make sense? Y'all agree? Y'all don't agree? I'm sorry. I feel like I'm in church right now. We'll bring it back to digital marketing. Okay, so it's actually you want to give them more, so then they can tout you out. They can give you a shout out. Carmella does this. What's your name? Holly goes the extra mile. You know, that is that. So then that way they can give you more leverage online in the community. The other thing is what I actually do is local, okay? So I don't know how many are local people? Mostly local? So when I first started the company, I wanted to go everywhere. I wanted to go to Cleveland, I wanted to go to New York, I wanted to go to Pittsburgh, I wanted to go to Chicago, I wanted to go to LA. And my mentor was like, hey, slow that down a little bit. You know, you don't have a strong base, right? So what is that base? That central point, Youngstown. Right? There are a ton of people who live and work here and buy different things. But I didn't have a strong Youngstown base. So once I got focused and got clarity on that, I actually started just doing events in the Youngstown area and building up my base so it can be stronger, stronger, and stronger. So with that said, I built up probably about 1,000 a name of list of individuals, emails, phone numbers, clientele in the city of Youngstown. What I then noticed is that we are a central hub, right? So not only is it great for shipping and distribution and things like that, but the knowledge that was passed on from here. So every city I go to, I find somebody from Youngstown. every stinking city. I don't know how people think they can get away with murder in cities, but you can't, because it's like, oh, you from Youngstown? I'm from Youngstown. I'm like I don't even know where I was. I was in the middle of nowhere, and I was like, you gotta be kidding me right now. She's like, yeah, girl. I was like, no. At that particular point. But it was great and amazing. But so once you start building that, the information actually starts to travel further and further out. And it's almost like it is a ripple effect that allows you to not only reach just Youngstown and surrounding areas, but also onward and outward from there. This is, so my complete strangers that became family in the area, I grew that customer base. I actually gained their trust. They are my family. And we went from them showing up and doing what they do through an event, because I started giving them information. Information is key to the kingdom. The more you give, the more you get back. The more you give without asking for something in return or expecting something in return, the more you get back. And that is important. That's the most important piece in digital marketing, I believe. And the reason why is because eventually all those seeds that you've sown as far as being generous over the past couple of years actually start to sprout up. And what you will start to find is there are people who will walk up to you and be like, hey, I know who you are. I know where you come from. I can start telling your story. So by having a consistent story, curly, kinky hair, or whatever your company, your business is, you can actually increase the number of people who can tell it, not just in person, but online. Okay? Now, we are also looking at setting the right price, right? So I'm coming from a woman's perspective. So women in general, we have a tendency to charge not enough because we really don't understand the value of what we have to offer. I just got a meeting with a PhD industrial engineering scientist who has 20 years in the industry, who was charging half of the price that she should have been charging for her hourly rate. So the question becomes, why is that, okay? Why is that? So how can we know that what we have is valuable and increase that to that effect? If for some reason you're like, okay, I know I'm charging not enough for the services I provide, it's okay, because what you can do over time, and what I do and what I have done, is I know that my prices were too low. So I started off at a low price. Once I gained market share, then I increased over the course of 3 years, whether it's by a 50 cent, a quarter per product, or $1. So now we are at industry standard, to the point where we can actually wholesale at a good price and have really amazing margins, and then the person who is wholesaling the product feels good about it as well and gets at least their 40 to 50% markup, okay? So for services, the market will always tell you exactly what it is willing to pay for what you're willing to give it, okay? So don't be afraid of charging X amount of dollars, okay? So I have 3 prices. I will go in with a super high price, okay? I will get I'll see how they're feeling. I'll see if they twitch, or if they just be like, yes, and then I'll just let it sit out there. If they say no, it's okay, because there's always gonna be another chance for you to lower your price another time around, okay? Never think that that's your only and last time you're gonna get an opportunity to get a contract. You just have to actually have actual confidence in what you're doing, okay? So how many of you all think that you are actually undercharging too much for your services? 1, 2, 3, 5, 7, 10, 15. Okay, y'all going up, y'all get the drill. So the exercise that I want you to actually try is by increasing your actual prices. Because if you are getting so many clientele, it's one part, your price is too low and you're being overworked and underpaid. So increasing it by, I would say 20%, and see how the market responds to that. If the market does not respond well, you can decrease it by 10%, and that's okay. I am always increasing and decreasing my prices based upon the year, time of year, and based upon how much I'm charging for shipping. So there's other ways to actually pick up your price points, and that's another topic for a different day that we can go more in depth into. We're doing good. Because I want you to all have definite times for questions. Okay, now you don't want to. Okay. So this is one thing that I am implementing in the process of, is identifying three types of my clients, and their issues that they might have that I am willing to solve. So what I am, me and my team are in the process of doing is actually going out onto Instagram, finding three influencers that resemble the type of client profile I am trying to sell to. And then we're going to go back and create 10 actual posts for each of those different profiles. So by profile is I have customer A, they might have a big, tight, curly, fro. What are their problems they might have? The comb might break, the hair is super dry, or it might be, it's a mom I'm targeting. So what issues do busy moms come in contact with? And how can I make a meme, a quote, or a picture that will speak to that individual, okay? And then, for example, we'll give it a third, because a particular client that we're dealing with, someone who might be a vegan, right? So what are the issues that a vegan might run into, and how can I create 10 posts that will actually speak to a vegan lifestyle or a person who's trying to be in a healthy lifestyle? And that can be for social media marketing. A lot of times, some people might not be thinking about how they can increase their brand and make who they are look better and talk and speak to the world. So if you can say something that might trigger a non-client to actually come and follow you, become a fan, and then give them a lot of enough information to make them family, that is a new person that you have brought onto your family that you might not have had before. And what I do is I will store up all these three different profiles, and instead of me just posting one time for, we'll call it 4th of July, happy 4th of July, blah, 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 I'm gonna post 3 of my profiles. So the mom, the healthy lifestyle person, and whatever the other third person is. And so it is going to speak to all 3 of those audiences. And that's how because what you want to be is multi-dimensional on your Instagram account, and whoever that your actual customer is, that's how you can actually reach and touch them. So, dear Lord. So that's one of the things I love to do, right? So if we can identify our customers, post about them, and not just one post per holiday or one post per thing you're doing, but actually, reach out to, if it's 2 different types of clientele, if it's male or female, you want to be able to create that Instagram post that actually targets them. And then we already talked about bringing your audience online. I do that through events. Of course, I use Eventbrite, so if they're online, usually the people who are online registering for my events are going to bring with them the people who are not online to the event, and that's how we can really make that connection, give them the actual information, help transfer, actually turn them from fans to family, and then bring them back again. And what I also do, and how I actually build my brand, is I slide into DMs. It's no joke. My goal is to slide into 5 DMs major DMs every week. And from that, I have gotten some people like respond. Now, I don't post about all of the celebrity hairstylists that use my product because that is not my purpose. My purpose is to build relationship. And when they are ready to post about them using my hair care product, because they've been using it for 2 years, that's when that makes it organic. A lot of times we push too hard, and what we're pushing online seems to be fake. And your client, your family, they'll see through that fakeness. So I will talk about this particular instance because she has posted about it. Earlier this year, we were given a shout out at the American Music Awards from a client who's been using my product for like the last two years right now. And I never asked her for anything. I never prompted her to give me a shout out. I just simply was her friend. I DM'd her. By this time we're texting, so I text her just to see, how are you doing? How can I maybe reshare some of your stuff? And when it came time where she felt compelled to do that, she did it. And when she did it, it was a bomb.com, right? So sliding into DMs, if you set yourself a goal, 10 a week, 5 a day, whatever that is, I slow down, so I will inbox Oprah or Oprah Magazine or OWN Network like every week. And I'm like, y'all gonna see my DM one day, gosh darn it. So if I have to go to another account just so it can be new when it pops up, I will do that too. But check this out. So I went to this concert this weekend, last week, Beyonce Jay-Z concert, and I get there and I'm like, oh, there's a PR person from Beyonce. I was like, oh, there's a PR person for Jay-Z. I know these people. So it's not about the celebrity themselves, but it's about when they share information on their followers, on their actual crew, how you can actually become their friends and DM them. You get that? Because they don't have a lot of followers, so they're more likely to see you. So I keep that. That is my key. That's how I slide into DMs. So for instance, Oprah is not going to see it, maybe no time soon. But I eventually found the food editor's Instagram account, who then directed me to the beauty editor, who actually friended me because he only has like 300 friends. And now I'm like, I am in there. I'm like, love this, super cute, oh my goodness, right? So, but that is all about building relationships. If you get nothing from today, build relationships, slide into DMs, and get 3 profile pics that you can actually start to post that speaks to the audience that you want to speak to. You can use that same technique on Facebook. And never meet a stranger. You all are my friends and family right now. We're gonna take a selfie later before we go here. But you all are my friends and family. Why? Because we are all on our common goal, and that is to have worldwide domination as pertains to industry, whatever industry you're in, right? That's your goal, right? That's my goal for everybody, worldwide domination. How can we get this moving and shaking? So you can actually, and what I always tell people is hit me up. Hit me up. You are more than welcome to slide into my DM as soon as I show you where you can get me at, if it will go. Have mercy. Okay, it don't want me. I give up. But reaching out and networking via Instagram. So I have friends who are in Botswana. They're my best buds, but we talk all the time. I've never met them, but if I happen to go to Botswana, I'm gonna be like, I'm coming to your house. You're like, okay. So, but at this point, I want questions because that's the most important thing of the day, and I don't want to miss anything, and I talked really fast, and I hope you all understood every word I said and took lots of notes and took pictures. But questions right now, something that I missed, something that there's no dumb question ever in life.
You got a microphone? How you doing?
I'm well, how are you, sir?
You look really great.
Thank you.
I just was curious, how much time are you actually spending?
How much time do I actually spend? Okay, so in the beginning, like I said, we would do like weekends at my house, buy pizza, cousins posting, text, twittering and stuff like that. Now I guess it's bad. I wake up and I scroll. lunch break and I scroll, I bathroom and I do some posts. I I go to at night. So I am probably spending about an average of average of about an hour a day, which is not bad, but 7 hours a week. My following is not too bad. Now, I'll also tell you this. So I manage 4 accounts, Carmelo Marie 30, Black, Bold, and Natural, which is my largest Instagram account. It just shouts out, it promotes Black excellence, people of color, what's going on in the Black community. I also run the Carmelo Marie mag and my personal. And with all of those, I do events centered around all of those. I'm frozen. Oh, there it is. But I do that. So when I say 1 hour a day, that's just strictly for posting and things along those lines and searching out what's new and happening, hot and happening in the news so that I can really talk about. I actually do an event. We just got back from New York 2 weeks ago where we did a women's empowerment event in the lower east side of New York. And we had a powerful time. That I spent some stupid hours on, but I used social media as a way to really promote that, pump that, build relationship, and meet those people who were following me. So I'm not just online, so I actually meet these people in person. So that's kind of, it's actually probably way more than that, probably like 5 hours a day. And that's not me making product. So, it gets a little bit intense. I don't sleep much. I ain't got no kids. I ain't married. This is my job. This is my life. My mom would be like, I'm going to need you to get your life together. I'm like, it is together. What you talking about? So, but if that makes sense, okay? So it's not just online. It's in person. I have an event. Do y'all have your own events? Who've never had an event before centered around their product? Never had an event. 1, 2, do an event. Get you an Eventbrite page, go rent you a $25 room down at the Rose Garden Center, and do something there. See who shows up. See what value you can add to those people's lives. Good question. Next question. All the way in the back. Okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this and then run to the back.
So when you planned your event, what steps did you take in order for it to be successful in the planning process?
Ooh, child. So I have a grid, which I can possibly post up that you all can use. I work my way backwards. I don't post about it until I get an event venue. And then I usually get my speakers towards the middle. But I just start posting my old pictures from last year to get everybody revved up. So I just released my main event, which is 5th year. It's Let's Talk Hair main event at YSU. And on opening day of ticket sales, we did really, really, really well because people were waiting for it. So you can create anticipation and then have all of your photos set up and then push, right? Go for the push. But to make sure it's successful, I start really early and then I start really late at the same time. Does that make sense? Like I get all of my social media lined up how I'm gonna post.
So
Time frame? I literally just started back working on my next event 2 months out. But I've been doing it for 5 years, so it's cookie cutter right now. I have my event checklist, and I just go through it. Bam, bam, bam. Vendors, speakers, signage, promotions, and my team for the day. My only problem is getting the magazine done and getting product made. So the event is the easy part for me. It's the product making and my day job and doing the magazine. So if I didn't answer that fully, I'm gonna think of something else. Somebody else had a question back here in the back? Right there. I'm gonna get my workout in.
Hi, what is your best advice on marketing intangible things? So those feelings or thoughts, things like that.
That was in my notes. You're awesome. Thank you. I didn't talk about it. Intangible. So feelings and thoughts. I love to use poetry. So Rumi is something that I just posted about. It's love and relationships. Intangible. Give me an example, though. You said feelings and thoughts. Oh. Okay. So I would say this. So I would get a picture of the girls when we were younger, and then a picture of the girls when we were older. Like, remember, it'd be like, I couldn't have had these warm and fuzzy feelings if I didn't have these pictures from, make them remember how important it is to take pictures and keep them and cherish them forever. And then everybody knows about Pinterest, right? Where you can go on and Google and basically search out any type of wording and any type of color that you want. I would then connect that picture, and afterwards, a word that might be the word, or memories, or, what else touches a woman's heart? You can even do, the wedding is good, passing the flower. Somebody else had a question. I'm walking away from them. But you want to get something. I use poetry a lot to touch the soul. So you'll see that a lot from my page, or just like one word things that were in the bottom I write poetry. Because really the person who's buying the picture is females. So you want to be able to touch their heart and souls and make sure they remember that what's important is not the moment, but capturing the moment. Cool? Who else had a question? Thank you. Somebody else did. I missed you. Where you at? No? Y'all good? All right. Well, I will say this. On the intangible piece, on the event piece, positioning yourself to not just sell a product, but to sell someone on loving that moment, or actually the intangible feeling that they're going to get once they get off your page is super important. We didn't talk about filters and things like that, but having that soft feel, if you can get a soft feeling picture that you post, that will then translate also into the soft feeling. And I know that's like kind of corny, but it's the truth, on your both physically that they see and how they actually feel. So you all are awesome. Was that cool? Yay! So I got 3 minutes, and I'm gonna attempt to do something here. If you really did like what I had to say, I appreciate it. If not, I appreciate that too. See me afterwards so I can know what I need to do better. Because that's the other thing. Have people critique your Instagram account. Like, what am I messing up on? What's wrong? Why is no one liking what I have? It might be because your hashtags suck, or it might be, I'm all about I try to always tell the truth. Sometimes I'll be like, okay. That's how you know. You like, So I'm gonna try to do a selfie, kind of, sort of, not really. We got 3 minutes, and then y'all get to go to lunch. And you're like, oh, I'm gonna get you over here. My peeps over here. My peeps over here. Y'all gonna put your hands in the air and wave them like I just don't care. If you know something, let me hear you say, oh yeah. Yeah, they were awesome. Y'all were awesome and amazing. So one thing I want you to do, before y'all go, I need y'all to lighten up a little bit. I know we at a conference, but you know how you really gain stuff is when you let loose, right? And I know there's no drinking going on this afternoon, and that's a great thing, because I don't drink, so but you have to lighten up, because that's where you, like, when you see people walking down the street, say hi to them. I say hi to everybody. My uncle is the best Instagram in person ever. He don't even have Instagram. He just like in life, hitting people up DMs. Hey, how you doing? I'm like, you know him? No, I don't know him. But you make people feel a part of you. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got to be like, hi, how you doing? So you can feel warm. They will always, if you never know my name, that's the hair lady. And she said hi to me. That's the guy who always wears the coldest shoes, and he always says hi to me. They don't have to know your name, but what you want to create is a level of character that they can never forget. That does not happen online. That does not start online. It starts in your everyday life, where you can actually take it online. So the stuff you want people to be your family online, you gotta act like they're your family in person. So when I see you, I'm be like, what's up? You know, y'all, I just have to leave that with y'all. I need y'all to relax a little bit. And I need to relax. And my heart was like racing. I saw all these people in here. I was like, ooh, but I'm gonna shut up because I am over time. All right, so thank you so much.